All right, hi, I'm Stella. I'm sitting here with the Furies. How are you guys doing?
Awesome.
Very awesome.
Very well.
Yes.
Good.
I'll let you all introduce yourselves if you want to say your names.
Hi, I'm Gabby.
I'm Eden.
I'm Maddie.
Hi, I'm Jazz.
And I'm Lee.
Awesome. So we just wrapped your homebrewed session. It was great. I can't wait for everyone to see it. You guys are all amazingly talented musicians. How did you meet? How did this come together?
Well,
Do we start with ancient history?
ancient
or
history.
recent history?
Okay, so if we're going to start with ancient history, I've known her since we were 5 years old, actually. She's
Oh, wow.
actually a very recent
Correct.
addition to
Okay.
the band, but we actually played in a high school band together, which my father was the band director of all things.
Oh, yeah.
Like very,
All
very,
magic.
Ancient, nice.
very ancient
Yeah.
there. But, I started this band in 2010, and Eden I know through Berkeley. I actually sort of found her, and I was like, "Hello, you're a person I want to know." And then Maddie I had known about actually through Berkeley, but hadn't approached her until she was about to graduate, and things sort of really fell together in that way. And Jazz, of all people, I actually saw her on her Hit Like a Girl contest entry, and at first I said to myself, I was like, "Oh no, she's from England town." I was like, "She's at Berkeley." Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Nice.
So all things have converged in that way,
Sweet.
which is great.
Very cool. So you guys, all from Berkeley, so you're very Boston-based, but you also have some Rhode Island ties. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. It was the high school. Was that at Rhode Island High School?
Yeah, we were babies in Providence.
Oh, wow.
Lincoln
Yes.
School for Girls.
Lincoln School for Girls.
Shout out for the Lincoln School for Girls.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very
Did
much
it.
a shout out.
Did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. All
And
of
then
our
I
days.
disappeared. I live in New York, and then we reunited recently after
Mhm.
this band formed.
Yep.
Very cool. And you guys are about to go on tour. Yeah.
Yeah, we have like sort of a short mini tour going on. We had a date in Rochester, and tomorrow we're in Providence at DV8, which is, very, very cool. And then on June 1st, we're in Boston at the Middle East. And then June 2nd, we're at the studio at Webster Hall in New York.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Nice. Is this the first time that you guys have gone on tour as a group, or is this like old hat for you guys at this point?
Actually, last fall, we were on tour to Nashville and like the Midwest and had a really, really great time doing that. Lots of really fun stories about trying to travel to the Arch in St. Louis in an RV over cobblestone.
Yep.
It was a wonderful attempt. It was a wonderful attempt. No, but that was a really great time, and now we're at it again.
Nice, nice. What's it like? Like, what's the vibe like on tour for you guys?
Oh,
Is it very silly or very calm or very?
I mean, I would like to go around the circle for that one. But for me,
I would too. Yeah.
for me, it's like, it's actually, I love being on the road. I always have, but it's very, very calm. And actually the sort of vibe, like everybody gets along really easily. And there's never any huge, I mean, last fall was our like first tour, and some of us didn't know each other very well actually at all. So the question was, I was like, okay, there's bound to be like some hiccups, just gotta like, roll with it, see what happens. But everybody is just so awesome, and we had a really great time. It
Awesome.
felt really peaceful,
Nice.
actually, overall.
Yeah.
But what about for you guys? What do you think?
I mean, I agree with you, definitely. Like, it's calm. I'd say it's, like, silly but calm. You know what I mean? We have silly moments, but, like, overall it's pretty calm
I'd say
vibe.
it's pretty silly.
I like having that mobility to be calm and also be silly. And if I just want to be in my own little headspace, that's fine. If I want to just make weird noises for 2 hours, I can totally do that.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a good space to be
Yep.
in. So you've been on tour with Third Eye Blind and groups like that. So how does that? It's got to be a very different dynamic. Could you compare the two?
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is with Third Eye Blind, the singer like Stephen Jenkins was really like kind of took me under his wing for a good while, and with that it was like I felt like I was sort of the baby of the group, very inexperienced at the time. I feel like, but it was sort of like these seasoned professionals and me sort of jumping into this and just sort of going full tilt with that. It was great, and it was very, very comfortable, I would say. But being on the road with your own group and like with your own music, it's like I sort of feel like I'm at the helm of everything, but at the same time, like, you know, we're all experiencing some things for the first time together, you know, as opposed to sort of me experiencing them separately for the first time for people who have just been doing it forever. Like, you know, and I would say that both are amazing. Both incredible families. Like the Third Eye Blind family is always going to be like, you know, like a huge thing to me. They've done so much for me, but this is like my own little family and our own thing.
Nice.
You know?
That's awesome. So as we were talking about beforehand, I have to issue an apology from BRU to you and by the group extension for apparently launching you offshore in a party boat, was it?
It was like a small, I'm not even really sure what the circumstances were in the situation, but yeah, we were, the Third Eye Blind was in town, I with them, and BRU had us come with them, somebody on staff on it wasn't like a party boat, it was like a small little boat. It was just like out into the river, just like hanging out. And
I can't tell if that's more reassuring than a party boat or
not.
It
was like, not a party boat.
Not a party boat.
It was just like,
it was like a dinghy. And
it was like a dinghy for a little John, and then like, it just like ran out of steam while we were there. And you know, everybody's like, ahoy!
Yeah.
Matey. We ended up being sort of towed back to shore.
Oh my
but
God.
It was really amazing. It was sort of priceless.
At least you're a Rhode Islander and presumably comfortable with water.
Oh yeah. I was like, okay. We're just hanging out.
Again.
This is good.
Apologies from
no.
BRU.
BRU of the past.
The BRU of the past.
past.
Yes, now we are a new BRU. Who would you say are some of your influences? It's kind of unique to see a band of 5 women who are like playing different instruments and completely talented in all of them, and also it's not something that they really talk about really. So would you say that you're influenced by bands like Sleater-Kinney and stuff like that who are kind of setting the scene, or is this something that you don't really take into account?
Right. I mean, for me, you know, this was definitely, the intention was to create like sort of an all-female band where everybody sort of has their own thing that they do and their own strengths as we come together to sort of make a power group. You know, everybody here, like Gabby's an actor, you know, and Ethan's a composer.
And this is real.
This is real. You know, Maddie's a badass player and has been on tours herself, like overseas and in you know, Korea and whatnot. And Jazz is just like a total prodigy. Basically, she's on Berkeley. She's at Berkeley on like a full ride. She's, you know, everybody loves her. So the thing is, it's like definitely intentional, but the idea being that, you know, we all have our own thing that we do and we come together and we try to make something that's bigger than ourselves. You know, and growing up, I definitely was influenced by female artists for sure. I mean, I love Sleater-Kinney, I love Tori Amos, but just as many male artists, I think I love Coheed and Cambria, for example. I always have. But those are just some of mine. I know everybody has some of theirs, like you.
Well, I love Jessica Hoop. I don't know if you know that young lady. I find her to be magical, and I was so overwhelmed when I knew that you ladies knew and loved her. I was like, kindred, I'm in the right place. I'm a little bit of a delinquent. I don't do a lot of listening to music. I do a lot of daydreaming about music. So Jessica Hoop is kind of my lady influence.
Sweet. Very cool. Awesome. Anyone else? All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up. But lastly, what can people expect from the new EP?
So a lot of really guitar driven, but, you know, pop harmonies, all kinds of stuff like that. Definitely alternative rock based, but, you know, guitar solos, vocal harmonies, and sort of like a really nice spacey kind of rock sound too.
Sweet. All right. We're looking forward to hearing it, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys on tour. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Nice.